So yeah, um, I actually watched Max Steel live action 2016 film again. Now, for some context, uh, I was scrolling through Tubi last night because Kamen Rider was on there and everything. So like, of course, I was gonna watch it, and then I saw Max Steel, which reminded me of the memory I had in 2016 of watching that movie for the first time. Even though the memory was very vague and almost impossible to remember, in like every single way. So I decided to watch it again. So I guess I'm very late to this review of the movie since it's already happened like 30,000 times now. But I mean, here I am reviewing a random movie that basically no one's heard of. Now, there are things that I liked and things that I dislike, and I think I'll name them, you know, like just name the things I liked first. So the first thing I liked was the whole like colors of the film, I guess, since it wasn't dark and gritty and it wasn't too bright. It just actually had color, which I don't really see that much in like superhero movies anymore. Like they're like they're just like plain. So like it was nice to see, and I really liked Steel throughout the movie. It was funny sometimes, and I really liked the some parts of the fight scenes. I guess even though there's like only one, because it just reminded me of Tokusatsu or something. I don't know. And I feel like the main character is an absolutely unlikable, thank goodness. So that's an added plus, I guess. And also, I guess the suit was fine. It was like, it was something, like, it was something, I guess. It was better than nothing. Now it's time for me to move on to the things I don't like. So the first thing I didn't like was the pacing of this film. So I think like Steel got introduced like 30 minutes into the film, it felt like he actually talked like 30 minutes into the film finally. Like for a superhero film, there's barely any superhero film. It's it feels like a teen drama, except if a kid just explodes in energy and has to use a freaking alien to eat up this energy so he doesn't freaking die. And like the last 20 minutes of the film, suddenly we're just dropped with all this information of some kind. Like, oh yeah, well, oh gosh, that is funny. Oh yeah, I just killed your father. Well, I technically didn't want. I wanted to, but not in the way you actually wanted. I'm actually the villain. Turns out, type stuff. Like, huh? Like, I guess you can suspect it, but like, huh? Like, it was very weird how they executed it. And also, Ultra Links aren't really focused that much, despite them being talked about a lot. It's more so just a freaking sidelined thing, so we can focus on this character called Miles as the villain, who doesn't even become a full-fledged villain. I'm not sure if it's even Miles at this point. I've totally forgot. Like, Miles himself was like a villain or something, like, which was out of nowhere, to be completely honest. And, his motive kind of made no sense, to be completely honest. He was just kind of one of those type of villains. I don't know, maybe I'm just very bad in taste or something. But, like, he was mid. Like, woohoo, boy. Like one of the most mid villains I've ever seen in my existence. Like, he, like, too mid, in fact. Like, literally his dialogue too made no sense. Like, why are you explaining everything? And I know this happens a lot, and I don't usually complain about it, but this time it made no sense. Like, it wasn't even funny, stupid. It was just, why? Why? Like, and the villain, basically yeah, he's a villain for like 5 minutes, and then he literally dies. Like, actually just freaking dies. Like, the final fight scene was extremely weird, I guess. Like, there's some parts that were cool, I guess. But then they were immediately ruined because they wanted to make him, the villain, seem like he's winning instead of like making it an actually cool fight. Now, I know this movie may be low budget. I didn't check the budget. But like, I didn't expect a Marvel film either, since I expected like a weird tokusatsu type film. And it did give me that a bit, but I mean, there's not a lot of effort put into it, especially for a movie that is literally created by Mattel Toys, or Mattel, or however the heck you say it. So like, it was plain, it was boring. Like, oh my. And the villain's design was kind of weird. I mean, he looked like how I would think of a villain when I was younger in like Tron or something. And now there's nothing wrong with Tron, but I mean, this guy looked like a rip-off version. The only thing I really liked was the glowing aesthetic it had, because it reminded me of Tron, or like a cool tokusatsu character. But other than that, it was basically just an old geezer with a claw for an arm that can suck out this kid's energy. And now other things I don't like is Max's suit, Max Steel or whatever. First of all, it only appears like 2 times. One for 5 milliseconds felt like, and the second time was in the final fight scene, which only lasted like 5 minutes. So we barely got superhero suit in superhero movie. And the suit, I feel like it's just otherworldly complicated looking. Like, I didn't really understand why they had to make it look so complicated. I don't care if it's sci-fi alien tech. I literally do not care. I didn't know what to look at. And I don't see, in like, I guess it was cool in terms of aesthetics, since I really liked the white and everything, but I mean, it was just too complicated looking for, like, it just looked like, literally, just like, I mean, I guess it was fine. I just wish they simplified it a bit more, instead of just going for the classic. Since this is a live-action film, we're going to make it overcomplicated instead of making it simple and goofy. We're going to make it realistic, when the villain's suit is literally the most simplistic thing known to man. Like, ugh. And there's another thing wrong with this film. The dialogue is long and slow. Now, I'm a sucker for teen drama movies or something, or whatever the heck. But this was just over-exaggerated to the point of existence. Like, I felt like if the movie ended, I'd probably be a corpse by then, because I died of pure boredom. Like, there were 7 times during the movie where I just was on my phone, because that's how boring the movie was. There was just so much, like, conversation. Like, it makes me sound like I'm a goldfish, but like, it's true. There's so much nothing happening. Like, it's just too much of nothing in a film that is supposed to be about something. And the dialogue, it makes it even worse on how quiet it is. So I have to turn up the TV every single time it's one of those scenes, which is most of the film. It's like, why? Why do I have to do this? I don't want to turn up the volume and then turn down the volume because suddenly there's a very loud scene for no apparent reason. Like, make the whole movie quiet at this point or something. Like, why? And another thing I didn't like was the camera angles. Even though the color like grading was absolutely gorgeous, the cinematography was kind of mid. Not even really mid, it was just meh. It, like, there's too much shaky cam even for the most basic things known to man. We were too close to people sometimes, so it felt weird. And when the characters are inside their suits, we get the face POVs like how Iron Man does in the Iron Man films or something. However, it's like that, but if like the budget went down by $2.5 million and like they didn't put effort in it or something, so it just looked absolutely odd and weird. Like, what in the world happened there? And like, basically, summary of the film. It's just kind of boring. It's something, but it's mostly nothing. Like, it suffers the same problem as the Fan Four Stick movie or the Power Rangers 2017 movie. Even though Fan Four Stick, in my opinion, is more interesting than both of these movies combined, the Power Rangers and Max Steel. Like, I don't know, like, it's just, it was just plain, it was stupid, it was weird. And it felt like a cheap cash grab of a franchise, that's what it was. So, like, yeah. Like, I don't know. But yeah, that'll be the end of this video. Please consider subscribing. I might do more of this weird film review content. I'm not very good at it currently, so like, yeah. I also have a Discord server. Please consider joining. Thank you guys.